Hi everyone, this is Shelly from Koala Knits and Knacks, and we're going to make a infant beanie. So fast and easy to make, so cute, absolutely adorable. I just love baby stuff. I just think it's just so adorable. So we're going to use our Sentro 40 needle machine. You can use your Addi 46. I've made many baby beanies on my 46 needle machine before I got my 40, but now I'm going to do it on my 40 needle machine. And you do it the same way, same number of stitches and everything, and it does work. So I'm going to bring my last white needle, my first black needle, in line with my yarn feeder here. And I take a black permanent marker and I color this little divider here just so I can see when it's coming around. Okay, then we're going to do a long tail cast on behind the first black needle, in front of the next white, behind and in front, all the way around. For those of you who are new, this is what we call the long tail cast on. Okay, turn your handle in front and behind, all the way around. Now the downfall to this machine is that I have no counter, because part way around there I would have set my counter. If you have a counter and you've bought one to purchase, to put on here, halfway around your cast on, set it to 0 so that you're ready to go. Okay, so behind my white needle, oops, it popped off of that one in the process, and into those two little areas there, and then I put it on the biggest hole in the tensioner there. Okay, and so we're ready to go. So what we're going to do now is we're going to knit 70 rows. And this is where this little black thing helps me too, because when I see it coming around, I know I'm almost done a row and I don't have to wait for a black key to pop up. So that's row 1. 2, it's done. Now I'm working on 3. I'm working on 4. And I'm going to go around until I get to 70 rows. Now generally around 50, 55, 60 rows, somewhere in there, it's starting to touch the table. And when it does that, I will stop and show you what I do. I roll it into a donut to keep the tension even. But you keep turning until you get to 70 or till it starts to touch the table, and then pop back and see what I do with that. And then we're going to continue on to 70 rows, okay? Okay, after 60 rows, I stopped and I rolled it into a donut. I probably could have kept going because I only have 10 rows left, but it was getting pretty long, so I thought I would do that. And I'm going to keep going now until I get to 70. And the reason why we do that is because it keeps the tension around the barrel here consistent and even, and it puts some weight in there so that we don't tuck stitches, and which I did right here, so I have to go and fix that. I just noticed that. I'll fix that before I take it off. If you need to know how you fix a tucked stitch or a drop stitch, go ahead and look on my channel and you'll find a video that shows you how to do both of those. So I will fix that. I'm not going to do that on this video, but I will fix it before we end this project. So go ahead and finish your 70 rows and we'll see you back when you're done. Okay, I'm on my 70th row, just going to finish it up. I fixed that little tuck stitch there, and when I get it off the machine, then I'll just move those stitches closer together so you don't see it. But I'm going to get to the end of my 70th row here. I have my last white needle and my first black needle there. I'm going to do a long tail cast off, so I'm going to cut maybe 1.5 feet of tail from my end. I'm going to take it out of the yarn feeder, and in between the last white and the first black needle, and we're going to remove. So I'm going to crank my handle, take the first one off. Oops, lost it already. You know why? Because this needle is too thick for this, for these two teeth. It works great on my Addi, but it doesn't work for this one. So I'm going to go ahead and use the needle that it came with. I love these little metal needles with the little plastic ends. It's what I use most often. And I use it to remove the projects off of all my other machines. So this one, I'll use the one that came with it. Okay, and so then we keep going. Take a few stitches off. Until we get all the way around. I take a few off before I crank it very far. This yarn is, it's a variegated yarn, and it's a little bit tight on this machine. So this machine doesn't like it as much as it likes other yarn. And you can see that even with me cranking the handle to get these stitches off. It's a little bit tight. And that's okay. We just take our time and we go a little bit slower and we can make it work. because it really is a beautiful variegated color, and it's going to make a beautiful baby hat. I made a pair of infant mitts that have no thumbs. I think they're called scratchless mitts or something like that. And I made them, and I have a video up for that as well. And this is what I'm going to put with this hat. And it'll make a really nice set. So I hope you enjoy the tutorials, and I hope you're able to crank off some sets yourself and give them as gifts or put them in your sales. And yeah, they're just a really wonderful item to make, and they just look so great. So here, we're almost done. I can see that's going to slip off the teeth, so let me help that down. Okay, and we're going to finish going around here. There we go. Let's get this going here. Catching it with my thumb as I take it off these little teeth. I don't like this needle. It's too wide right here. It's too wide right here, and I don't like it as well as the other ones that I use. So use whatever needle you feel comfortable with and that you like the best. This is not my favorite one. I probably won't. I didn't get this. I haven't had this machine for very long. So you can tell because I'm kind of struggling with it. It's much harder to get off than on my Addi because these teeth seem to be a little bit closer together than on the Addi. Okay, but it could be just because I'm used to the feel of that one more than I am this one. So we've got our project off, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to stretch it in every direction. We're going to stretch it long ways, and we're going to stretch, isn't that pretty? Such a pretty color. And we're going to stretch it widthwise, and then we're going to cinch up the ends. I'm going to remove my camera and take it to a place where you can see me do this better. So let's get that all stretched out, and we're going to begin cinching it up. So we've got our project all stretched out in every direction. If anybody knows the name of this variegated yarn, please put it in the comments for others. I had one ball in my drawer and the sleeve was off of it, so I really don't know what it's called, but it really is quite pretty. Okay, so we're going to go to one end. We're going to cinch that end. Okay, I'm going to cut this off because it becomes quite long, and we do not need a yarn end that's that long to finish this project, okay? And we're going to thread our needle, go underneath the first row of all those stitches, around the circle there, and just reinforce it, okay? Might have to stretch it out a little bit there just so you can find them, okay? One more quarter of a round, there we go. And then I'm going to cinch that, pull it tight, but not so tight that I break my yarn, because that does happen. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen. If you get a little bit too anxious and you pull it a little too hard, it can snap on you, and you don't want to do that. Okay? And so then I'm going to tie a knot, reinforce it with another knot. Then I'm going to put my hand through the other end, poke that needle in through the center, grab it with my hand that's inside of there, and I'm going to pull the whole thing through so that I double it just like so. Okay, pull that. Then I'm going to cinch up the other end exactly the same way, as with this end sticking out, because I need to tie it and cinch it up so the two ends come close together. But I'm going to do exactly the same thing to this end that I did to the other end. So go ahead and reinforce that around the circle and meet me back. Now that we've got both ends tied tightly and secured, we're going to tie them and pull them together. Give that a tie, but again, be careful how hard you pull on that, because you do not want to break it. Okay, so we've got one knot. Let's do one more. One more knot. Then we're going to thread our needle. We're going to hide those yarn ends in between the two layers. I love this yarn. I think it's beautiful. Okay, we're going to snip that off. I'm gonna add a pom-pom. If you don't know how to make a pom-pom, you can go ahead and check my video out on that. I'm not gonna add that to this particular video, but you can look for that. You're gonna roll that up. Oh, so cute. You're gonna add a little pom-pom to the top there. And you've got a hat for 0 to 3 months. Now, when the baby grows and it's past 3 months, all I gotta do is pull this down and you've got a bonfire beanie for your child who is, for the baby who is then about 3 to 6 months, maybe even 7 months. So a brimmed hat for when they're younger, and then you unbrim it and it's for when they're a bit older. Now I'm gonna just grab, where did I put those mitts? So with these little mitts, that's gonna make such a beautiful little gift. So I'm gonna get the pom-pom put on there, and I'm going to, or you can just leave it like that. And I'm going to finish it off, and it's ready to give away. So thanks for watching this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. Please look on my channel for the tutorial for these little mittens. You'll find it there. Take care, bye-bye.